President Obama just wrapping up remarks moments ago at the White House Easter prayer breakfast. The divisiveness over some issues here in the U.S. coming up, but not Christians under attack around the world. That issue has not come up at the prayer breakfast, at least not so far this morning.
I'm Bill Hemmer. Good morning. The massacre of Christians at that university in Kenya, again, not coming up in the remarks, but he did have this to say just a moment ago. Drop in here.
On Easter, I do reflect on the fact that as a Christian, I am supposed to love. And I have to say that sometimes when I listen to less than loving expressions by Christians, I get concerned. But that's a topic for another day. Where there is injustice, I was about to veer off. I'm pulling it back.
Interesting moment there. Just moments ago at the prayer breakfast, Steve Hayes is senior writer for the Weekly Standard and a Fox News contributor. Those comments may get some attention today, Steve, so we thought we'd play them for everybody and start with your reaction.
Well, it was interesting that the president decided to pull back and not expand on what he had said there. But I think, you know, it's odd, as you noted, that the president didn't take this occasion to point out the recent slaughter of Christians in Kenya, the problems with targeting Christians around the world, but instead decided to sort of suggest that his main problem at this point is Christians saying things that aren't loving. Just an odd choice, odd timing, really sort of not a dissonant note from the president there.
I mean, we don't know what he was referring to. It could be the Indiana discussion that was last week. We don't know exactly what he was referring to because he didn't say. But it was sort of a glib moment, and it got the attention of people in the room, and then the chuckles when he said, I'm not going to go there and talk about, the things that Christians do that he believes are not Christian, essentially, is what he's talking about. So
right. But I also think, just to add to that, I think it's not just that he didn't take this opportunity to point out the struggles that Christians are dealing with around the world, but also his focus on non-loving things that Christians are saying at the same time that his administration just this past week sort of shrugged off these death to America chants that we heard in Iran, led and embraced by the Iran supreme leader, where he doesn't seem to be troubled by those. He seems willing to sort of shrug those off or to dismiss or downplay those, but he likes to focus on the alleged misdeeds or misstatements or anger of Christians.
Yeah, I mean, you would think when you're talking about Christianity with what's going on in the world, one of the main things that you would want to bring up is the persecution and the killing of Christians overseas, because it's an extraordinary and tragic tale of what's happening in the world. And Pope Francis has pointed it out quite clearly, and I just want to read a quote from what he says. "These are our martyrs of today," he says, "and they are many. We can say that there are more of them now than there were in the early centuries. I hope the international community does not look on, mute and inert, at such an unacceptable crime." He's speaking in very forceful words, and you would expect, and maybe we will hear something about this morning, but we haven't heard it yet, Steve, which is strange.
Yeah, sometimes the silence from the president says more than his words do.